In today's episode of Project Sacrifice, we adventure to the end, fight the dragon, and make chaos shards. With that being said, let's get into today's episode. In the last episode, we set up this beautiful energy ball, and we also added watches to our power reactors, which is making us quite a bit of power. We're making 44 billion RF a tick. However, my intention is going to be going up into draconic evolution here and getting the chaos shards because, well, we're gonna need them, right? We're also gonna need these draconic crafting injectors to make neutronium essence and many other things. So we've got to go down draconic evolution fully now. So the plan is to go ahead and start automating these antimatter crystals, which is going to be needed to go ahead and make the tiny chaos fragments, which then have EMC. So we really only need 56 of these antimatter crystals. But unfortunately, to make those antimatter crystals, they are quite expensive. Now, the only thing that we have currently for the antimatter crystals is this allthemodium. We don't have the allthemodium crystal yet, but we need fluix and we need allthemodium dust for that. And in between episodes, I did a little prep work and I grabbed ourselves some bioforges because we're gonna need these bad boys to go ahead and get automation going. Let's go ahead and place these guys down like so, and then give these guys the things that they need, which is going to be the nutrient bars. And I believe that's all they really need here. So let me also make sure that this guy is turned on as well. And we're gonna go also make sure that we have the export buses and we also have the regulator upgrades because that's going to be really important. So regulator upgrades are easy enough to do. We already have them. So we need to figure out exactly how we're meant to make allthemodium dust, which is just pulverizing it, thankfully, which is not terrible. Actually do that relatively simply. I believe the vibranium dust is also a pulverizer recipe, but to make vibranium, which we haven't made yet, is going to be a deployer with a blazing crystal and a enderium ingot. Now, do we have by any chance a blazing crystal? We do, and we also have enderium ingots as well. And just like that, boom, we now have vibranium. So we can go ahead and teach that to our EMC table. And you know what, we're over here. Let's just set this up right here, right? So let's get ourselves a pulverizer. We're gonna need at least 2 of them. Now here's a good question: does the unobtainium dust need to be made with the macerator? It does. That's kind of annoying that I can't pulverize it, to be honest, but you know what, it is what it is. Let's go ahead and grab ourselves some energy pipes and get this bad boy set up. This shouldn't be too hard. It is just going to be a push-pull setup. Go ahead and put down a pulverizer like so, and let's go ahead and get ourselves a bunch of things. We're gonna need some of that integral component parts now, right? Something like that. So integral component parts like so, and we could get the flux amperage linkifiers if we want, but we don't really have access to that. I guess maybe we do with auto crafting. Set that to 64, and let's also make sure that we also teach this guy the vibranium, but also you got to teach it the allthemodium because we're also going to need to go ahead and set one of those up as well. And it turns out we already had 10 of these guys, which is perfect. So now that's nice and fast. That's now done. Now here's the better question: is this going to work the way I want it to? Because if it does, we're in the clear, but if it doesn't, we're kind of in trouble because I don't really know any other way of automating this, and we kind of need this automated. So I'm really hoping that this just works. So if I do this, right, and we're gonna set this up, so this guy for this is gonna require fluix and allthemodium dust. Okay, so fluix, we should have like literally millions of this stuff. Beautiful. And we're gonna keep 1 of those in stock, and we're also going to go ahead and keep in stock 4 of the allthemodium dust like so. Let's make sure that we put the regulator upgrade like so, do something like this, and do something like this. Make sure it does that perfectly. And do I have a cable nearby? I do not, but I do have an interface, so that kind of works as a cable, right? And then we're gonna go ahead and do something like that, and then that should in theory make the thing. So if I do this, perfect. Now I am gonna have to craft it, so let's make 1 of those. And then what we're gonna go ahead and do is get a importer, and we're gonna go ahead and whitelist this guy so that way it doesn't like pull anything else out, hopefully. And this should be good to go. So whitelist that bad boy like so, and do something like that, and that should now be pulling all that out, except it's not exporting the stuff into here. That's not ideal. I legit think I have to do this by hand, guys. I've tried everything to automate this thing and it's not working. That's gonna be despair. That's gonna be painful. I should be able to take all of this now and make literally a bunch of those like that. And now that that's done, we're gonna need to make the upgraded version. So we're gonna need all of the vibrantium dust. Now this doesn't look to be too bad, honestly. Is it vibranium? My bad. Vibranium dust. Grab a bunch of that stuff. And I guess we just got to do this by hand, I guess, which is really crazy. There we go. There's a stack of those bad boys like so. And we just got to make unobtainium. Now, did we already make unobtainium? We might have. So unobtainium we have. Here's the question. Do we have unobtainium dust? Because if we do, that would be giga goated, but we do not, sadly. I only need like what? 4 stacks of this stuff, so it shouldn't be too bad to make by hand, I guess. And just like that, we now have the unobtainium crystals, like so. Beautiful. Then we take those guys and we hopefully get what we need here. So we need these energy crystals. We need 52 of them. I can make 64. Beautiful. And then all we gotta do now is just literally grab a bunch of antimatter like so, and it's gonna take about 2 stacks each to go ahead and make this. Now I'm not seeing. There we go. There we go. Beautiful. Okay, so that made me about 8. This is gonna take a while. Now that we've got these antimatter crystals, well, we've got a bigger problem on our hands. The fact that we're not even prepped and or ready to go ahead and do this with the injectors. Now the injectors are interesting. So if I head over here and we come into this quest, well, to get that, we have to unlock this first, which is going to require us to go fight the Ender Dragon. I totally forgot about this. So we do have to fight the Ender Dragon, unfortunately. However, do we really have to? Because we already got Awakened Draconium, to be honest. I think we just got to get it for the quest. Also, the Dragon Heart is technically used for the Piglet Heart, which is going to be later on. So let's go ahead and grab 2 stacks of Wyvern cores like so. And then I believe, I forget what the item are. They are as follows: block of Enderium and Endstone. So a block of Enderium shouldn't be that hard. I believe we already taught Enderium. No, so we're gonna have to make that real quick, but that's not a problem. And Endstone isn't gonna be a problem either, so we can just go ahead and grab that while we're here. Grab 2 stacks of that, and then I guess toss this in here and quickly make a block like so, and then turn that block into a stack like that. And then I guess in the induction smelter, 1 stack of those, 1 stack of these, and 1 stack of this, which is interesting because it's not going in. Why are we not going in? Block of Enderium, thermal series, induction smelter. Oh, I see the problem. Yeah, okay, so that's a bit confusing. You need to make sure that you get the right Enderium for that to work. Okay, that's fine. And we only need 12 of these. Now, make sure when you place these down, you're placing them in a place where you're gonna not be able to move them, because you can't break them once they're down. So make sure you put them in their permanent location, so that way you don't have to worry about, you know, going into creative, then breaking them, then moving it. Just make sure that you put it in the final resting place. A little bit of a pro tip, by the way, make sure when you're placing these guys down, right, place them when you're facing inwards like this. So something like this. So 3, 3, 3, and 3, and then that should give you your end portal frame, which is beautiful. And then all you gotta do is get yourself some Eyes of Ender, like you would do in vanilla Minecraft, and place those bad boys in like so, and you should end up with a end portal like so. So we want to fight the End Dragon, right? And I have an idea. I think we can make the Archangel ring from Project E. This thing is super powerful. All we need to do is make the Vulcanite ring, which shouldn't be too bad, assuming I have all the things for it. So we just need some dark matter. We're gonna need some lava buckets. So let's go ahead and get a bunch of those bad boys and toss them in here like so, with the dark matter and all the Wyvern cores. So let's go ahead and make the Archangel ring here. This guy is gonna be super powerful. So all we're gonna do is something like that, and we should be good to go. We are gonna need to get 4 bows. Now bows are going to be a bit tricky because I believe we are deleting those. So we have to craft 4 bows like so. And we can't put them in the system because they'll get deleted. But there we go. The Archangel is a really cool little item. I believe we can also activate it as well to get like a machine gun type weapon. And we can use this now to go ahead and fight the End Dragon. Alrighty, we're in the end now. All we gotta do is hopefully just pop ourselves out like so and fight this big old dragon boy, and hopefully it's not going to be too big of a problem. Oh, he has to spawn in first. Attempt number 2 at this. All we gotta do is sit here blasting this guy with a bunch of arrows from this. Now we are gonna need to go ahead and destroy all of these. Now it does look like I'm taking a bit of damage here, so I'm thinking, do we have notch apples? We do not, but we have golden apples, which should be good enough to go ahead and do this fight and whatnot. So let's go ahead and do this bad boy. Now, I don't want to be too close to this because if that blows up, it's going to nearly kill me, which is not ideal. But we need to go ahead and take out all of these guys. Also, where is my Swift Running Yell and why is it not working? Oh no. I think this pack has one of the whatchamacallit hard boss mods, which really just stinks here. So if I take this out real quick and then try to fly again, yeah, my flight has somehow been disabled, which is really annoying. Actually, I wonder if I can out damage the crystals. I don't think I can. Yeah, it doesn't look like I'm out damaging the crystals, unfortunately. So we are gonna have to go ahead and I guess pillar up using some end stone. This is the most annoying dragon fight ever. Holy hell, this dragon fight is so annoying. Can I please hit the damn thing, please? Oh god, I'm gonna die again. Oh, this freaking fight is so annoying. I don't know why this dragon fight is so difficult for me right now. Oh my god, you're almost dead. Please. And it's gonna be dead right about now. Beautiful. And I'm dead again. I died at the end. Free the end. There it is. Let's go. We beat the dragon finally. God, that took way longer than it needed to take. Look at all this free draconium. Oh my god. It's free draconium. I swear to god, if my dragon heart burned, I'm gonna be very upset. And I'm pretty sure this is not the only time I'm gonna be fighting this dragon, because I'm pretty sure I need to do multiple of these fights for the piglet heart, which is going to be the spare so freaking hard, man. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, that's just disparage, I feel. Let's get ourselves a torch like so and place it like so, and then break this and then drop that like that, and boom, we now have dragon eggs. Now, if I'm understanding this correctly, the piglet heart is used for, I need multiple of these hearts. I need at least 3 hearts, which means I need at least 3 of these hearts, which means I'm gonna have to kill this dragon 2 more times. And I am not looking forward to that. Also, I didn't get a dragon heart. I should have a dragon heart right now. Oh, there it is. That's one of many that we're gonna need. Now that that's done, we can go ahead and start doing draconic evolution. So we're gonna go ahead and start to make the things that we need. And one of those being is this infusion crafting core. And it should be relatively cheap. We just need some of those pesky little lapis blocks that we just don't have. There we go. And let's get this infusion core like so. Now we are gonna need to make 56 of these, which is a bit expensive, but we can, I believe, do it. We're just gonna need to get some blocks of iron, which shouldn't be too bad at all. So if we just come in here and do this, I guess we do not have iron taught. We do. I don't know why Minecraft decided to name it block of, like iron, for example. Why did they just say iron block or something like that? I don't know why they decided to put block of in front of it. It's just a little weird. And also, I'm kind of curious about something. Does this injector have EMC? They do. Do they all have EMC? No, it's just the basic tier that has EMC. interesting, and that's probably because you got to upgrade them through the infusion crafting core. So let's go ahead and do, yeah, we're gonna have to do 50 something of these. So all we gotta do is grab 56 of these, which shouldn't be terrible. There we go. I believe to upgrade to the next tier, we're just gonna need 56 wyvern cores, a bunch of draconic cores, 56 of these blocks, and literally a bunch of diamonds. But the way this works is it's very simple to set up. So we're gonna go ahead and place this down over here, and to get started, what we're gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna place down 14 of these like so in this sort of pattern. And all we gotta do, make sure that we put the fusion crafting core in the middle like so, and we're gonna need to run some energy pipes to this so that way we can get power to this bad boy. And of course we want to make sure that we use the best pipes in the game. So there we go, energy pipes like so. And what we're gonna go ahead and do is do something like this and get this all hooked up. And once this is done, we just put the items inside of here and make it craft. The way this works is you can have it in stack mode and or single item mode, but I want stack mode right now because I want to go ahead and make 56 of these. To put it into single stack mode, all you gotta do is shift right click from a distance. And the reason why you gotta do that is because this mod pack has carry on. So as you can see, if you get too close, you'll just pick it up. So yeah, you gotta do it from quite a bit of a distance. And we're just gonna need 2 more draconic core stacks here like so. And also don't forget to get draconic blocks like so, and toss them all in here when they're in stack mode like this, and then come here and place this in here like so. 1 or more injectors are too close. You know what, it might be the fact, you know what, I think they did change it in the newest version here. There might need to be a 2 block gap here. Ooh, that's kind of annoying. There you go. So it does have to be 2 block gap between, and I wonder if that's because we need like 56 injectors. But all I gotta do is basically rehook these back up again, and then all we gotta do is hit the start button, and we should be good to go here. So hit the start button. It's gonna go ahead and start powering it up, and it's gonna go really fast, by the way, because we should be using our infinite pipe upgrades over here to extract power from this guy. At least I hope we are. No, we're not. You know why? Because when I did that, we immediately lose power, which is really annoying. That's kind of not ideal. So let me just quickly grab an infinite pipe upgrade so that way we can go ahead and swap them out like so. And that should then make that draconic crafting basically instant, right? So that should, in theory, be good. And yeah, you're gonna make sure that you have to import these as well. And I believe you can also watch this as well, if I'm not mistaken. So if I take this and I do something like this, and we put a watch on top, we should be good to go here. This should speed up quite a bit. Yeah, you could also use a timer as well if you want to go ahead and automatically craft this stuff as well. And once you have all your wyvern injectors, it's just literally the same thing again, right? We're gonna break these down. We're just gonna replace them with the upgraded version, and then we're gonna have to make the next thing, which is going to be the draconic injectors. Oh, I wish it was an easier, or not easier, but like more like mechanics than just like having to like upgrade them essentially, because you know it kind of gets repetitive after a long while. But I've made, you know, almost 2 stacks of injectors. That way I can place these ones down and keep the other ones for putting inside of here, inside of this fusion injector thing. And we need like 56, but I think I'm just gonna do a whole stack and that's gonna be fine. So you're gonna want the draconic injector. So we're gonna need 2 stacks of wyvern cores, 4 stacks of diamonds, and a stack of awakened draconium blocks. That's actually relatively cheap. I didn't think it would be that cheap, honestly. You know what, it is what it is. Take all this and we throw it in here like so, so, and so. And where's the last stack of diamonds? There it is. Do that. And then we need 2 stacks of wyvern cores, and it's back at it again, just upgrading these bad boys to the next tier. Now we can upgrade it to the chaotic as well if we would like to. I think we are going to have to go to that, I believe, because I believe the chaotic injectors make some important stuff in the end game. Oh, Okay, with all of our draconic things down, let's go ahead and make sure that this is all set up nice and good. Now we are going to want to make sure that these guys are indeed in single item mode. I know this is a lot of injectors. I am going to have to hook this one up though, and this should be good to go once I get all these connected, and hopefully we should now be able to go ahead and make the thing that we've been trying to make, which is the tiny chaos fragments, because oh boy, I do not want to fight the Chaos Guardian. I just need to make sure that these are all in single item mode. Now, something that I didn't check was what item was in the middle. If it's something that we can't craft, well, we're going to be kind of in trouble here. So the chaos fragment should be relatively easy. We just need the ender slime crystal, which is sky slime in a neutronium compressor. I haven't even made neutronium yet. Right. So we're going to need the neutronium nuggets, but I believe we're supposed to get it through the essence. So the neutronium essence is used, right? We need one to make the piles of neutrons, which means we're going to need dye seeds, coral seeds. We're going to need mythical essence and a insanium block, which means I need 9. Oh my God. I need 9 more insanium. That's a lot of insanium. So we have a big problem, and that problem is going to be nether star essence, because I think we have to kill a wither using the Ioculus, which I'm not really too fond on doing, to be honest, and that's going to be needed for this guy right here, because we need dragon egg essence, cyanide essence, sulfur essence. But dragon egg needs chicken, nether star, and end essence, which we can get relatively simply. Chicken essence is relatively simple. We can make chickens relatively easily, but this nether star essence is going to be a huge pain in the butt. Luckily, we get 3, which is nice. So that's a kind of a saver there. Coral essence is just going to be your dye essence and nature essence, which we already have plenty of. Dye essence is going to be terrasteel and iridium, which I believe we already have iridium essence. We do not. Iridium essence is going to be this, which is not that bad. The terrasteel essence is going to be experience, emerald, and yellorium. Yellorium is going to be aluminum and ghast, which is not bad at all. How expensive is ghast going to be? It's just going to be an angel block, which is not that difficult. Aluminum is not that difficult. Experience, however, is going to be interesting. I don't know how we're meant to get experience essence. I might have to take a look at the quest book. I believe there is a quest in here for the Lexica Essentia. I've already gotten, you know what? I bet you it's gotten through killing monsters with the Ioculus is probably my best bet on that guy right there. So let me look at this real quick again. So you are going to make the terrasteel one. So all of this is relatively easily and cheaply made, except for nether star essence. Here goes nothing. I'm really hoping that this works, because if it doesn't, well, we're kind of in trouble here. So please, for the love of God, do not escape, because if you do, we're kind of in trouble. And please don't escape. That would be wonderful. Let me see if I can beat this guy up with just sitting here. Oh my God, this actually does incredible damage. I didn't think it would do this much damage. Wow, this thing does a lot of damage. I wasn't expecting that, to be honest. There we go, and boom. That's 1 nether star essence. Okay, I mean, the platform got a little bit beat up, but that's not too bad, actually. I thought that was going to be a lot worse. And just like that, we should have the dye essence. So I quickly made terrasteel essence. Wasn't too hard to make at all. Come over here, put our terrasteel like so, and put this guy in like so. And there is our 2 dye essence. And And we're going to make sure that we save one for, I believe, the neutronium thing here. I believe we do need dye essence for that. So if I take a look at this, yes, we're going to need that for this. So let's make sure that we save that. We're going to need coral essence. And then the coral essence is just going to be dye in nature, which should be relatively simple to make. And let's go ahead and do that and that. And boom, we have 2 coral essence. Good to go. And that's now done. So the mystical flower one's going to be interesting. So end essence we do have. We have the nether star and we should have the chicken. So the dragon egg should be done. What am I missing? End essence, which means I need to come over here and click the end stone a few times. Wait, do I not have end stone there? I do not. Okay, I'm a little bit silly. There we go. Get a end stone like so. Place that bad boy down and a couple of clicks like so. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. And now we should be able to go ahead and make the dragon egg essence like so. Beautiful. That's now done. So we can, I guess, take all of this off the list. Sulfur essence is just going to be dirt and saltpeter. Now, I don't think I have saltpeter, however. You know what? We do. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and make that. Do I have sulfur essence already? You know what? I already have sulfur essence. This is beautiful. So I don't even need that. So I need that though, I believe. I thought for making the mystical flower essence. Yeah, what am I missing here? Right, the cyanide essence, which is going to require amethyst, bronze, and fluix. So amethyst, bronze, I do not have that. Do I have? I need that. So I need bronze and amethyst. We should have some of that. We don't even have bronze either. What is going on? So amethyst, bronze is going to be tin and copper. So tin essence we have plenty of. We should also have plenty of copper essence. We do. And what is the other thing that we needed for that again? We needed, right, fluix is what we needed. So fluix essence we have 21 of. Beautiful. So I should be able to just come over here and put this in here and this in here. Then this plus this. Or no, I need amethyst. Right. So we need amethyst essence. So amethyst essence is going to be, let's see, where is amethyst here? Right, just Ioculus on the amethyst block, which I believe we have on this side. Yeah, right over here. Give this a couple of clicks and then call it a day. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Make sure that we take one of those and we'll take that and toss it in here like so. Amethyst and then amethyst plus fluix like so. And then that's gonna make our cyanide, which should make what we need here. So let's go grab that. So there you go. Now, one thing that is going to be needed here, I did notice, is going to be the awakened draconium essence again, which we already have one. Oh my god. I am so happy right now. Okay, so awakened draconium in this guy over here, like so, and then mystical agriculture essence, like so. So dye seeds and coral seeds. Dye essence and coral essence are what needed here. There's the dye essence and there is the coral essence, like so. And we should be able to go ahead and just pop these in here, like so and so, with the insanium block, like so. And we should be good to go. Why is my thing not showing up down here? Is it the mystical flower that's not showing? There you go. Weird. There is our neutronium essence, like so. Take that and do that to make the piles of neutrons, like so. Take those, teach those, like so. And then we should, in theory, be able to craft up a neutronium nugget, like so. And then go ahead and make 9 of those, like so. And that should now let me make the neutronium ingot, like so. Beautiful. Okay. So now we just got to make neutronium compressor, which hopefully isn't too hard to make. I hope. It might be a little bit challenging to make though. So the neutronium compressor is going to require us to make a bunch of stuff that we probably already have. Honestly, it looks like we already have a lot of that stuff, like blocks of iron and quartz, hoppers, and crystal matrix ingots. Honestly, we have a lot of this stuff already. None of it is that hard neutronium. I believe that's literally everything that we need for this. So I am just missing redstone, and that's it. And that's literally the neutronium compressor done, which is amazing. Oh, right. I need neutronium blocks. Right. Let me just quickly make that real quick. And honestly, the EMC is like not even that bad, honestly. Like this is like what, 56 billion EMC? Wow, that's cheap. That is so cheap. There we go. And just grab a stack of those bad boys. Doesn't even dent our EMC, which is insane. But let's go ahead and make sure I come over here and craft the neutronium compressor. Give it a second to lag. Neutronium compressor. Give it a second and it's just going to lag up real quick. And then all we got to do is place this down like so with a EMC link and get ourselves a infinite pipe upgrade. And I believe we need like something slime crystal, which we do not have, so we're gonna need to make that. So I believe it's sky slime crystal is what we need. Yeah, so we need this, which is gonna require us to make the sky slime dirt, which require, hold on, am I about to have like a hard time finding how I'm supposed to be making this? I see. Amethyst plus slime in the smithing table. That was actually easier than I thought. So take that. And then we're going to need some amethyst crystals like so. And then we're going to come right on over to this guy right here. That, and that. That's going to make that. And then we're going to do that. Teach that real quick. And then, of course, we're going to go ahead and make ourselves a infinite pipe upgrade because we basically got that on automation. We can make 10 of these guys. No problem at all. It's just going to take a second to get them to come in, but there we go. Take this, teach this to this like so with a item pipe, of course, and then that should give us everything that we need really quickly. So let's do something like this, and that's going quite slow. And then once I put this in here, going incredibly slow. That is not ideal, but I guess we'll have to wait it out. I guess there's not really anything I can do. I mean, dude, I hate that I put it right next to my refined storage system because refined storage gets really weird when you tech accelerate it or near it. And it's a little weird. I don't think this is gonna work. That's definitely working a lot faster. Okay, never mind. And just like that, we have the ender slime crystal. And what we're gonna go ahead and do is take this and we are going to throw this onto here like so, and we're gonna get ourselves the antimatter crystals that we made. So these guys right here. Now I am a bit concerned, so I'm gonna hopefully fill every single one of these slots in with a antimatter crystal and just hope to God that it picks up most of them and we get what we want here, which is going to be the chaos fragments. Now, this is taking me a lot longer than I thought it would. Sometimes you're just going to be ready to expect the unexpected, and bam, bam, boom. And that's a problem. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. It is missing 1. It took me a while to figure out that I had to do it this way, which is so interesting. So I had to do 3 here, 3 here, 3 here, 3 here, 3 here, and 3 here. Now I am going to have to run up some cables to this guy and we should be pretty much good to go. I do need to hook up some more of those injectors though, that's for sure, downstairs because not all of them are hooked up. But once I do this, I should in theory be able to take this and reconnect all of these guys like so, and we should be good to go, fully powered. Do something like that and boom, just like that, we now have our tiny chaos fragments. And then all we have to do is take these tiny chaos fragments, toss it in our EMC table like so, and then go ahead and grab a bunch of them like so, and then craft them up into the bigger variant like so. We just keep on doing that, right? So we take the now small one and we take them, teach them, grab a stack of them, take them and build a bigger one out of that. So let's make, I believe, the medium-sized chaos fragment, like that large chaos fragment. I don't think it gets any bigger than that. It might right. So if I press U on you, yeah, no, it doesn't get any bigger than that. So we now have the large chaos fragment. Oh, no. You know what we need to do? We need to take this guy and take 9 of them, and we need to stamp them in a stamper to go ahead and get the upgraded chaos shard. Right. So do I have a stampy boy over here that's available? Not really, but I can grab a quick stampy boy like so, and a quick basin relatively easily like so. And let's make sure that's the create basin. That is, of course. And we can do something like this. Give it some stress like so. And then let's go ahead and take these guys and throw them in there like so. And then that should make us our chaos shard. The chaos shard has been officially gotten. Unfortunately, guys, it is time to wrap up today's episode of Project Sacrifice. With that being said, if you guys did enjoy today's episode, please do me a huge favor. Smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, ding dong that notification bell. Become a part of the Council of Elder. As always, guys, I'm gonna love you. I'm gonna leave you until next time, where we're gonna be getting into some of the end game silliness. Bye bye.